Hello everyone, we are Anna, Sarah and Julian.
Have you thought about where all the plastic that we consume goes? Have you thought about what life would be like without plastic? We are going to talk a little about these questions. I am sure it will interest you.
Plastic, 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 and look, more plastic. Plastic is everywhere, around us. This incredible, flexible, and even low-priced material has been manufactured and maintained in an unprecedented way during our last half-century of rapid economic and scientific growth, thus dramatically changing the lifestyles of human beings. Let's go for a walk in the supermarket.
My experience at the supermarket was a bit scary. Perhaps, out of habit, we never noticed that all our supermarket products have plastic packaging, are made of plastic, or have microplastic bases. In the world we live in, it is normal. But it's really scary. For each aisle, there was no shortage of food, hygiene products, or toys that contain plastic. All, absolutely all, contain plastic. The real challenge was to find products without plastic. In Colombia, they impose a tax on grocery bags. This is good. It really reduced the consumption of these bags, and now it's more common to see people carrying their cloth bags when they go to the market. The reflection is then a distance for what's happening industrially. There are not hundreds, there are millions of food packages, from fish to deodorants, plastic toys in plastic covers, and plastic packets in more plastics. We try a lot individually by consuming fewer large bags, but there is excessive industrial use of packaging. As an example, at least a large bag will serve to carry more things. But if you think in bin packaging, the packaging that joins 3 jars of water or the cookies packages, is worse because it will be discarded as soon as what comes inside is consumed.
Also, plastic has got its own adjective to describe its workable and versatile nature. I can even imagine how jealous other materials might feel.
But how come this impressive and useful material became our worst nightmare? In fact, it is destroying our planet, and with it, us as well.
Well, Sarah, the answer is quite simple. Us. However, this was not always this way. It is important to highlight at the very beginning plastic invention and development bore a really noble intention: to save wildlife, especially elephants. That warms the heart.
So, here we go to the numbers. But first, it would be better to keep in mind a magical equation that hopefully will guide us enough for the rest of the video. Production plus consumption equal waste minus waste management, or briefly, P plus C equal W minus WM. You might be wondering why there is a part in capital letters and another part, waste management, so tiny written. Okay, that's because it represents our right now crisis. While the peak in this pair of scales diagram, a graphical exemplification of the disbalance or surplus we are living in.
Now that we have the above, there are 2 questions that may arise. First, how did we get to this point? And second, what are we going to do about it? The global plastic annual production incredibly increased from 1950 to 2015 18,850%.
Global annual plastic production has gone up an absolute change of 60 million metric tons in just 5 years.
Social and individual accountability should be truly assessed at this point. How is possible that
12 minutes is the average working life of a plastic bag before it's thrown away, with a high probability of making its way to the ocean, knowing in advance that we already have an ocean global surface plastic mass accounting by far more than 267 million tons. 5 known ocean garbage patches with around 50,000 tons of plastic each one. Just one of them covers an approximate area of 784 times Bogota's size and compromises the existence of more than 700 marine species.
Currently, 3 to 4 of 7 types of plastic can be completely recycled, even though all of them are still widely produced. Many countries in the world export and sell their plastic trash to China because they are unable to handle it. That was until 2019, when China refused to keep being the world trash dumping ground anymore, no matter how much they were to pay them. The large-scale piling up in landfills has found long ago its limits.
Japan, a worldwide recognized country to work on plastic recycling that invests far more human and monetary resources to improve recycling processes than almost any other country in the world, can cope along with their waste. They used to sell a great deal of their plastic to China. Now, they export it to other Asiatic countries such as Philippines and Malaysia. We are a long way from being ready to handle the amount of plastic we produce. Isn't it time to reconsider stopping plastic production, or at least slowing it down greatly?
Moreover, the problem of plastic goes beyond what we can perceive with our eyes. Plastic has a complex process of decomposition, mainly is fragmented into fractions of microscopic size. This can happen by physical agents such as the movement of water or wind, or natural agents such as intake by zooplankton. The microplastic is embedded in all natural environments, such as the ocean, where it's present at all depths, and its amount exceeds 70 million tons in the Atlantic Ocean.
Animals are consuming these microplastics, and even those animals we use for food. That means we are consuming plastic. In addition, microplastics' small size help them to be distributed through the environments with greater ease, getting to places unreachable for humans. The task of collecting and trying to extract them from natural environments is then an impossible task. We humans have no control over our plastic garbage, due in large part to microplastics. It's fundamental to research for alternatives to replace this product and its derivatives. From the beginning, we have to think about immediate solutions, looking for answers to questions like, what can we do right now? There is a lot of alternatives to make a change. Here we are going to show you one of them. In Bogota, the recycling system provided by the city administration is really poor and inefficient, and by the end of the process, all waste gets mixed. However, there is a non-profit organization that uses plastic waste to create new materials.
Here's what you have to do to help. First, take a plastic bottle, no matter the size. It has to be clean and completely dry. Next, you have to put inside all the plastic waste that you have in your house. Of course, everything also has to be clean, because all particles of organic materials will start a decomposition process and therefore will produce a really bad smell and it will start to damage the bottle. Something important to keep in mind is that you must not put glue inside, anything like price tag, nor latex, paper or foams of any kind, because these are organic compounds as well. The third step is to push the plastic waste with a stick in order to fill the bottle with as much plastic as you can. The idea is to create layers of plastic as thick as possible. Finally, after you fill the bottle, you just have to leave it in one of the collecting points that they have established to pick out the bottles. If you want some further information, you can follow them on Instagram and also check their website. In a lot of cities around the world, there are alternatives like this, especially with PET bottles. Once they are full, work flawlessly as raw material for construction purposes. They are hard enough and last way more than other raw materials used in this industry. Look for one of these campaigns or organizations in your city. It's an excellent way to recycle in a very easy way.
On the other hand, it is fundamental to research for a definitive solution to replace plastic. One example is the shell, which is a material based on chitin, derived from the main material composing the body of bugs and other arthropods. This can be a serious alternative for industrial use if it's implemented on a mass scale. Of course, it is not the only one, and the research and studies looking for alternatives will become one of the main academic and industrial goals for the future.